We're here today because a lot of our customers ask, how many people can I fit at a table? Should I choose a round table? Should I choose a rectangular table? Should I choose a square table? And if I do that, how do I know how many people can sit there? So today we're going to discuss not only how to do that and choose that, but we're also going to discuss how to properly space your tables and chairs, whether it's under a tent or it's in a room. So let's talk about that. So I'd like to start with the most common table that we rent and that our clients typically choose, which would be a round table. The reason why this is such a popular table is it allows for great conversation. Regardless of where you're sitting in the round, you have good visibility to have a conversation with your guests. It also creates good dead space in the center of the table to use for a centerpiece or other decorations. Another good choice that's gaining an increasing popularity would be a square table. Square tables, like the one behind me here, again, is similar to a round, just a different flair, but the idea being is that you also create some space in the center of the table where you can decorate, as well as everybody always has good visibility of those that they're dining with. Some negatives of using a round table is they do take up more space. So because of that dead space in the center of the table, if space is a concern, a round table or a square table is not the most efficient use of the space in the room or tent. Rectangular seating is another great choice for a more casual event or for those that simply don't like the look of a round table. Some of the disadvantages of a rectangular table is that the people sitting on the same side of the table, it can be a little awkward to lean down and have a conversation with them. Another thing that you need to give some careful consideration about when choosing a rectangular table is the amount of space that you're going to have in the center of the table. If your intention is to do some sort of decoration, you're going to need to make sure that it is very narrow or small in nature in order to fit it on the table. If you're having a cocktail party or just, again, another casual picnic where you want people, it's a social event, and you really want people to mingle or interact, a very good choice would be a bistro table. They actually have a lot of names. There's bistro table, airport table. I've heard people call them cocktail tables, cafe tables, high top tables. So it doesn't matter. I think we all know what we're talking about, but the idea is that there's no seating at them. It gives you a place to lean your food or rest a drink. It allows you to be centered when you're having a conversation. But those also can be a great supplement or great use at any type of event. The next thing we're going to talk about is how many people can sit at each style table. In the interest of time and for purposes of this video, I'm going to cover just the more common sizes. If you chose a 48-inch round table, which is the one that I'm seated at today, it can fit somewhere between 4 and 8 people. Now, that's a big range. 4 people, like I'm seated today, is going to give you lots of room if you have a lot of glassware, if you're doing a very formal dinner and need a lot of space. This also could work very well with 6 people. If your intention is to sit 8 people at a 48-inch round table, it should most likely be a casual event like a graduation or a backyard barbecue, because you will be sitting elbow to elbow. The next type of table we're going to talk about is rectangular tables. Now, we'll start with the 6-foot table, as that's a little bit more common. That's going to be able to sit 3 per each side for a total of 6. It's kind of hard to use the heads of the table. We often get clients that ask, can I fit 2 more people at the heads of the table? I suppose you could if it's casual, but there would be very little room for a plate to sit there, even in a casual environment. The next table would be an 8-foot rectangular table. We'd now be able to sit 4 at each side of the table, but would have difficulty in seating 1 at each of the heads of the table. Last table I'm going to talk about today is a bistro table, or again, that high top, airport, all those names. That can comfortably stand 3 to 4 people at a 30-inch round table, again, standing room. Let's talk about using a 60-inch round table. First of all, you're going to need about 100 square feet of space to properly fit a 60-inch round table with seating around it. If you were trying to think of this mathematically, your seat takes up approximately 2 feet. Your 60-inch round table takes up 5 feet, so now you're at 7 feet. And a chair directly across would take up an additional 2 feet, which would put you at 9 feet, giving you about a foot or so, or 6 inches on each side, extra play. What's important when you're spacing your tables is how you are about to align your chairs. So I'm going to show you that next. When setting your chairs, you're doing yourself a great injustice by pushing your chairs in. The reason is that your next table that you're going to set up doesn't account for the space that your guest is going to need while they're seated. The proper way to do this when setting up your chairs is to take the chair and place it just touching where the front seat is even with the edge of the table, or just touching the linen. Once you've done that, here's a quick tip. If it's a windy day, you can take your chair and tilt your chair forward all around the table, and that will help hold the linens on the table till your guests arrive. Hopefully you've enjoyed our little table talk today and have found these tips helpful when planning for your next party or event. I want to remind you to again like us on Facebook. Definitely like this YouTube video. Till next time, thanks for watching.